What's up, guys? Cheers to another chapter. Got a little wine. Hopefully that'll calm me down and not make me stammer more. As long as I'm not drunk, right? I think I'll be okay. So thanks for bearing with me. And apparently my recorder only does 20 minutes at a time. So this is like take 4 of reading this chapter. So I'm going to try and go through it as much as I can before the 20-minute mark. And if not, it'll just be a 2-part video. So, thank you very much for tuning in again. And shall I continue? I woke up to the sun seeping through the broken blinds sheltering my window. I had a text message from Trenton asking when I would be up and ready to head to Johnny's. I responded with soon, closing my outdated flip phone, shoving it into my jean pocket. I went to my bathroom, giving my appearance a fixated look in the mirror. Rubbing the sleep from my eyes, dragging my palms down, the stubble that formed on my cheeks tickled my fingertips. I brushed my teeth, splashing cold water on my face to appear more alive than dead. Entering the living room, my mother was seated on the couch drinking coffee while watching her morning talk shows. "Where are you off to already, Mally?" "See the boys for a bit. I planted to kiss the top of her head before leaving." "Stay out of trouble, son," she called after me. To my surprise, Trent was already sitting in my driveway with Colton in the passenger seat. "Hop in, bro," he flashed a smile. I returned the gesture, placing my foot on the tailgate of his tiny Ford Ranger, falling over into the bed. I nestled myself against the corner right behind Trenton as wind blew through me like a hollow wind chime. I pulled down my shades to refrain from having any tiny fragments of dirt and sand particles flying into my eyes. It's a well-formed habit from riding my Harley around for the past 2 years. It was a graduation gift from my father. I honestly thought he did it in respect of me not getting put away and keeping decent grades throughout school. We found the bike sitting roadside with a for sale sign. I was completely shocked when my father called the number, telling the seller that we would take it. It only cost us $50,000 that we didn't have, and a bunch of repairs later to have it running as well as it does now. Living in New Jersey, I only had a few months out of the year that I could actually enjoy riding the damn thing. Sadly, motorcycles don't come with snow tires. Pulling up to the Rocco house, I saw Johnny out front in a greased-up wife-beater mangling beneath the hood of his 1986 Cadillac Fleetwood. You could spot his car in a lot full of others. Old or new, it didn't matter. Its bright red paint glistened in the sunlight, sitting on 24-inch spoke rims inside white-wall tires embedded with a sound system that would knock a few screws loose. Johnny is definitely an old-school kind of guy. His pale skin nearly matched that of his tank top, and Johnny always liked wearing anything to show off his ink. He has a significant amount that starts at his neck, running down both wrists and arms across his chest as well. I have a few myself, but I don't walk around like I look like I belonged on the cover of Ink magazine. Hearing Trent's truck tear through the gravel, Johnny poked his head up, removing the cigarette from his lips to ash it. I jumped out of the bed of the truck to fill his welcoming arms with a brotherly hug. "My brother. How you been, man?" He gave me a hearty slap to the back. I'm alright. "What's up with your caddy now?" "I just had to replace the conveyor belt. Bitch has been squeaking non-stop," he shook his head. "Where's that little punk of a younger sibling you have?" Trenton asked. "Oh, Jacoby? He's in the garage, probably fucking around in his video games." Johnny slammed his hood down, motioning for us to follow him towards the garage. Jacoby was sitting in a recliner holding a bong between his legs, head tilted back with his eyes nearly shut. "You little fucker. I told you to wait until they got here," Johnny huffed. "Chill, bro. What's with all the hostility? I only smoked half a bowl." "Yeah, and you're higher than a fucking satellite." Jacoby laughed, straining to fully open his eyes. "Where's the rest?" Johnny's eyes narrowed. Jacoby pulled out a sandwich baggie half full of bud that was prominently green. "Hell yeah, let's spark up, boys," Trenton said, high-fiving Johnny. Johnny snatched the bag from Jacoby along with the bong, relocating it over to his tool table to set up another. I took a seat in an old lounge couch that sat beside Colton. Lord knows he was always down to smoke. I glanced over at Jacoby, just laughing to himself. I couldn't help but smile and laugh along with the kid, and the fact that he was high off of his ass. "So what's the, plans for tonight, Johnny?" I asked. "Oh, there's supposedly a party being thrown at the Nelson's house around 8. You know it's worth checking out since that little fucktard Robbie's a little rich bitch. And they always have nice-ass parties, and they have the nicest house in the area," he rolled his eyes. "As long as there's some good-looking chicks, I'm down." I laughed in agreement with Trenton's comment. "So, Malice, tell me, What the deal is with you and Nikki? What is there to tell? My smile dropped to disappointment on a sore subject. Are you still fucking? I mean, I know you two have had a hell of a fallout, but I see the way that she looks at you when you're around. Nikki has a pistol for sure. I'd still hit it though, bro, Colton added. I haven't spoken to her in a while since she's been messing around with Charlie Bradford. No shit. I just recently saw that faggot the other day in my shop asking Christo about some fucking oil filter for his Gixxer 1000. The idea of my ex-girlfriend, who I once was in love with, straddling another guy on the back of his expensive street bike set my blood to fire. I knew Charlie had a better life than the pathetic one I so claimed to be living myself, always prancing around with his cocky frat boy bullshit excuse of an attitude, while dressed in his faggot-ass attire that consisted of polo shirts, sweaters, and khaki bottoms. Disgusting. He was out of her league, but then again, so was I. She wasn't exactly the prep type in school. She just had a lot of friends and was well known, but carried a badass attitude, not really giving a fuck about how others perceived her. That to me was sexier than how short her shorts were or how perfect her hair and makeup was each day. She took everything from me, proudly wearing the medal for my first heartbreak. I'm sure emotionally and vulnerable than most people, but Nikki really fucked me up back then. I assume that she wanted to go out of her element in choosing me as a plaything for a while since I came off as a challenge at first. Always hanging around with the guys especially. Being labeled as the intimidating asshole that everybody didn't dare to approach on the subject of homework. Johnny's brash attitude he persuaded didn't help matters either. I guess he was too much of an asshole or a hard ass for Nikki. She wanted someone who was more, timid, but someone who didn't have a problem beating the fuck out of somebody to defend her honor. I always have a soft spot for that vixen, and most days I hated myself for it. Johnny, I really wish that you would stop fucking shaving your head like that. You look like a Nazi, I said to change the subject. He flipped me the bird, handing off the bong and the lighter. I took it in my possession, lighting the slider. Thick smoke filled the chamber to the rim. I cleared it with one deep inhale, almost choking to death. I coughed so hard that I nearly puked. The guys all laughed hysterically at me while I gasped. Dude, what in the fuck is this shit? Oh, it is potent, I said between gasps. Hydro, Johnny winked. I shook my head, passing it off to our weed-smoking champ, Colton. That fucker had lungs of steel. Nothing fazed him. He could clear a damn chimney stack if you had put him to the test. 2 bowls later, I sat limp, sagging down into the couch. I was so high, I didn't know what to do with myself. I glanced over at Colton playing on his high-tech smartphone. Must be nice, I breathed out. It's a nice luxury to have, he shrugged. Tell your rich-ass foster mother that she can suck my dick. Fuck you, Trent. It's not like I asked for it. The lady took me when I was, 15? She just takes great care of me is all. Trent waved him off, taking another hit from the bong. What side is that you're on anyway? I asked curiously. Photomac, he responded while scrolling down the page. What the hell is Photomac? Just some bullshit mainstream site people use to post pictures. You can comment and like them. Just something to do to pass time, Colton smirked. Sorry. We are all not up to par with those social networks, Johnny quoted sarcastically. Don't be a dick, Rocco. I have one too, Trent admitted. Well, what do you know? Old self-righteous narcissistic prep boy over here has one too. There are actually a lot of hot girls who follow me, Colton smiled. Only because you're rocking 9 inches and are considered a ladies' man, Jacoby laughed. Seriously though, I'm trying to get this one girl named Sky Riley to follow me back. Colton turned his phone, letting us all take a gander. The girl's beyond anything a simple compliment could describe. Her eyes were as blue as the Jersey Shore, bright hair, and suntanned skin. Colton scrolled through some photos she had posted on her page. What she portrayed was a laid-back, fun-loving girl who enjoyed her life, but was hidden behind a wall questioning what she really wanted to do in her future. Bearing some tattoos gave me the slightest incentive that she could be carefree and enjoy the simple things in life, while searching for her own purpose in this world. Could you gawk any harder, Mally? Trent bumped me in the shoulder, causing my state of daydreaming to come to a sudden halt. Sorry, I was just intrigued. What if she isn't who she says she is? Like that show where people pretend to be somebody else on the internet and then fuck with people's emotions because they can't really stand who they are? That's some fucked up shit, Johnny explained. Dude, she has posted videos. That's apparent enough right there that she's in existence. Okay, Mally, please excuse me. Maybe if she were standing before me and we had other females like her around here, I'd feel differently about the situation. And we left it at that. As 8 o'clock rolled around, we set out for Robbie Nelson's house party. Cars lined the entire block along both sides of the streets. Holy shit, I didn't think this many people would have shown up, I said. Coming up behind a white BMW, Johnny tapped his hand on his tailgate. Hey, there's your girl's car, he smiled. My heart began to race, knowing that Nikki was somewhere amongst the herd of drunken fucks inside the Nelsons' house. Trying to make her way through the front door, some oversized jackass shoved his way past me, sloshing his beer all over the place. Johnny quickly intervened, shoving the guy against the wall with a switchblade to his throat. I knew Johnny wouldn't hurt the guy. He just wanted to show his ass like always. Watch your fucking step, fat ass. I think you owe my friend over here a sincere apology, Johnny bit out. I'm fucking sorry, man. The guy threw his hands up in sheer defeat. Everyone around laughed, watching the guy nearly piss himself. Well, if it isn't Johnny Rocco and his rabid pack of wolves, a familiar voice said, drawing my attention. It was no other than Robbie Nelson himself. What's up, punk? Tell your overly sized mongrel over here to gain some respect, Johnny smiled sinisterly. Who invited you mad fucks anyway? Come on, Robbie. You know the city knows who we are. Figured we'd pay a little visit and make a much-needed appearance. Just don't trash the place, 'cause my father would murder me. But come on in and have a drink, Robbie said. We filed through the door, following Robbie to his kitchen. I poured myself a shot of Jack, downing it like water, letting the amber liquid burn my throat as it simmered inside my stomach. To pose social, I grabbed a bottle of beer from a nearby cooler, twisting the top off with my forearm. I glanced around the house, full of annoying college kids looking for someone to strike my interest. And almost forgetting about her, Nikki appeared in the living room, clinging to that bastard Charlie's arm. I curled up the side of my mouth in disgust, watching her fall over the prick. Damn, Mally, good luck taking that guy on. Shut the fuck up, Trent. Shouldn't you go mosey around and look for some chick to sleep with? I shot back. Trent laughed at my reaction, squeezing his way through the crowd. I leaned back against the island in the kitchen, taking a long pull from my beer. Practically just torturing myself while watching Nikki until Johnny swarmed in and gave her an unexpected hug. I raised an eyebrow, mentally questioning his motive. He looked in my direction, pointing with his beer bottle. I felt the blood drain from my face as my eyes widened. What the fuck? I whispered to myself. Once Nikki's eyes met mine, she narrowed her gaze, releasing Charlie's arm, making her way towards me. I quickly chugged the remaining contents of my beer, trying to bring on the intoxication just to ease my mind and mentally prepare myself for what was about to happen. She ran her hand through her hair, bearing an innocent smile as she approached me. I swallowed hard, trying to run different scenarios through my overbearing mindset, figuring out the perfect response to each thing that she'd say to me. She looked beautiful as she always had. Light caramel hair lying curled past her shoulders. Eyes still as emerald as I remember. Maybe tanner than she usually was, or maybe it was her white button-down that made it seem more prominent. I observed new ink on her left thigh only because the shorts she wore had given up its appearance. It looked like tribal of some sort. Within arm's length of a distance, Nikki reached her arms out for me to fill. I gladly accepted her gesture, pulling her tightly into me. Honeysuckle perfume filled my nostrils, setting off old memories of us hanging out on the Jersey shore when we were younger. God, she can still bring me to my knees with just a single touch. Her cheek brushed against my stubble and it made her giggle. Sorry, I know I need to shave, I said nervously. Don't. It suits you. I like the whole rugged look. That compliment alone made me smile. So, what brings you over here? Your boyfriend looks a little intimidated. Who? Charlie? He's not my boyfriend. Oh, excuse me, your fuck buddy, I corrected. Is someone jealous, Mally? She playfully shoved me in the chest. Not at all. How have you been lately? Pretty good. Just doing a bunch of schoolwork while working a part-time job. That's about it. Yourself? How's your mom and dad? It hit me hard when she asked about how my family was doing. Nikki has been there with me through a lot of hard times. She's seen the monster my father can really be after drinking. She used to fear my father, but mostly for me and my mother. Minus the bad breakup and bullshit Nikki has put me through, she above anyone else knows me like the back of her hand. And I miss that about her. Always having her to turn to when I felt like my life was going nowhere. We'd escape down to the railroad tracks, messing around in empty boxcars, just holding her close to me, letting the feeling of actually being alive, genuinely cared for as well, completely consume me. She knew me all too well, but I was okay with that. They are the same. I nervously grabbed the back of my neck. Is your father still an asshole? You know it. I miss being around you, Mally. Sometimes I get these sporadic moods where I just want to text you in the middle of the night or have long phone conversations like we used to. Yeah, those were always good times. I grabbed 2 more bottles of beer from a cooler, offering one to Nikki. She gladly accepted and held hers up for a cheer. To reacquainting, a smile clanking my bottle against hers before taking a long pull. How long are you sticking around? I'm here for the summer. Why? I don't know. I figured you might want to hit the pier and catch up some. That would be nice. She looked over her shoulder to Charlie's face, mirrored in dismay. I should probably get back. I really don't want to argue tonight. Anyway, it was nice seeing you. I'll text you to set plans. Her hand ran down my arm, grabbing my hand with her 2 fingers, making it hard for me to let go. Even the slightest touch from her still caused my body to tingle within. Sometimes I wish we never fell apart and damaged each other so badly. We've ruined each other beyond the point of turning back to make amends seem so simple, especially like it should have been. But everything happens for a reason, and I'm just waiting for my moment. I made my way back to the front of the house, watching Johnny and Trenton kick some frat boy's ass in pool. I took a few more shots back to back, trying to ignore the fact that I was within the same premises as Nikki. No one at the party had my attention in the way that she did. I only longed to be near her all night, but instead I would see her in passing and watch her carry on with her girlfriends. I tried my best to maintain a hard-ass composure around my friends because I didn't want anyone to think that I was weak or to give them the slightest incentive that I was vulnerable inside. I still carried a broken heart that only wanted honesty and love at its best. A guy never really likes to admit that he's wrong, much less that he is broken and hurt inside. We shove it off with arrogance, pretending like we could give a fuck less about a woman's feelings, but that isn't always true. I never liked admitting my faults when I was in the wrong, but I realized growing up that sometimes it's the best thing that you can do. Not only for yourself, but for the people you surround yourself with, claiming to have such love for. I never really had the opportunity to open up to my father about things such as love and heartbreak like a son should. My father made me feel like I needed to be this tough guy all the time.